There is a $15 box fan sitting in my bedroom window right now. It's old. The paint is scratched, the handle is cracked, and if my father-in-law has his way, it'll probably outlive both of us. The strange part isn't the fan. The strange part is which direction it's facing. Most people point a fan into the room. My Amish father-in-law points it out the window. The first time I saw him do it, I thought he'd finally lost his mind. I had just married my wife and joined the Amish community. It was the middle of July, the kind of July day where the air feels heavy before breakfast, the kind where your shirt sticks to your back before you've finished your first cup of coffee. I was staying in an upstairs bedroom that felt like an oven. The fan was running, the window was open, and somehow I was still sweating. My father-in-law walked in, looked at the fan for about 5 seconds, and laughed. Then he turned it around. That was it. No explanation, no lecture, no scientific discussion. Just turned it around. I remember thinking, there's no way that works. A fan is supposed to blow cool air in. Everybody knows that, or at least I thought everybody knew that. 2 hours later, I wasn't so sure. The room felt cooler, not because air was blowing on me, because the hot air was leaving, and that was the first lesson. Most people try to cool the room. My father-in-law tries to remove the heat. Those sound like the same thing. They're not. And understanding the difference can save you a surprising amount of money every summer. Before we go any further, I want you to think about your house, especially if you live somewhere that gets hot. Maybe your air conditioner runs all afternoon. Maybe one room always feels warmer than the rest. Maybe your electric bill climbs every summer and you don't know why. Now think about what happens after sunset. The sun goes down. The outdoor temperature starts dropping, but your house still feels warm. Why? Because your house stores heat. The walls store heat. The floors store heat. The furniture stores heat. The attic stores heat. Even after the air outside starts cooling, your house is still holding on to everything it absorbed during the day. My father-in-law explained it with a cast iron skillet. Take a cast iron pan off the stove. The fire is gone, but the pan stays hot. Your house does the same thing. The problem is that most people never remove that stored heat. They simply wait for the air conditioner to fight it. That costs money. Every hour your cooling system runs is another hour you're paying for electricity. My father-in-law hates wasting electricity. Actually, he hates wasting anything. Time, money, food, materials. If something can be done more efficiently, he'll usually find a way. That's a different question, and it leads to a different solution. Most people use a fan like this. They point it inward. The fan blows outside air into the room. That feels good on your skin. But if the room is still full of trapped heat, you haven't solved much. You've just stirred it around. My father-in-law does the opposite. When the outside temperature becomes lower than the indoor temperature, he points the fan outward. The fan pushes hot air out of the room. As that hot air leaves, cooler outside air naturally enters through another open window elsewhere in the house. The entire house starts moving air. Not just one room, the whole house. It's a simple form of cross-ventilation. People have been doing it for generations, long before air conditioning existed, long before smart thermostats, long before anybody was paying $300 a month to stay comfortable. The funny thing is that when I first joined the Amish community, I thought all the useful knowledge would be complicated. I expected secret building techniques, special tools, old-world engineering. Instead, a lot of the lessons were surprisingly simple. Open the right window, close the wrong one, plant a tree in the right place, store food correctly, pay attention. The knowledge wasn't complicated. Pay attention. The knowledge wasn't complicated. The consistency was. That's what most people struggle with. Not knowing. Doing. I remember one evening when my father-in-law asked me a question. I had no idea. I lived there and couldn't answer. He could. He knew exactly which rooms heated up first, which windows should stay covered, which windows should be opened after sunset. He paid attention. That's really what this $15 fix is about. Paying attention, because timing matters. The fan doesn't work all day. That's another mistake people make. If it's 95 degrees outside 185 degrees outside, you're not helping yourself by pulling hotter air into the house. You wait. You let the evening arrive. You watch the temperature. Then when the outside air becomes cooler than the inside air, you start moving heat out. The difference can be dramatic, especially in upstairs rooms, especially in older houses, especially in homes where warm air tends to collect. The first summer I started doing this consistently, I noticed something. The bedroom cooled down faster. I slept better. The house felt fresher in the morning, and the air conditioner didn't have to work nearly as hard the next day, because I wasn't starting the morning with yesterday's heat still trapped inside. I had already removed most of it. Now let me be clear. This isn't magic. It's not going to turn a 90-degree house into a 68-degree house overnight, but that's not the goal. The goal is reducing the workload. Every degree of heat you remove naturally is one less degree your cooling system has to fight later. And over the course of a summer, that adds up. That's why my father-in-law keeps using the same old box fan. Not because it's fancy, not because it's powerful, because it works, and because it solves the actual problem. The older I get, the more I realize that's how many Amish lessons work. They don't chase symptoms. They look for causes. Most people see a hot room and buy another fan. My father-in-law asks why the room is hot in the first place. Most people see a high electric bill and blame the utility company. My father-in-law asks what in the house is creating unnecessary work. It's a different way of thinking. And honestly, it's one of the most valuable things I've learned since becoming Amish. The $15 fan isn't really the lesson. The lesson is understanding where heat goes. Once you understand that, you stop fighting blindly. You start solving the actual problem. So tonight, if the air outside becomes cooler than the air inside your house, try something. Put a box fan in the hottest room. Point it outward. Open another window somewhere else in the house. Then give it an hour. See what happens. You might be surprised. I know I was. Now I'm curious about something. What's the hottest room in your house? The upstairs bedroom? A room over the garage? The living room that gets afternoon sun? Let me know in the comments. And if you've ever tried using a fan this way, tell me how it worked for you. I read every comment. Until then, stay cool, pay attention to the small things, and remember, sometimes the cheapest fix is the one nobody bothers to try.